In 1966, Brazil was a country in the midst of profound change. The shadow of the military dictatorship hung over daily life, shaping society with a mix of control and uncertainty. Technology was beginning to advance, yet old superstitions and a fascination with the unknown still captivated many. It was an era marked by a growing interest in electronics, science, and the mysteries of the universe. Against this backdrop, in the city of Campos dos Goitacazes, two friends, Manoel Pereira de Cruz and Miguel José Viana, found themselves at the crossroads of the rational and the mystical. Manoel and Miguel were both skilled electronics technicians, men of practical knowledge, respected by friends and neighbors alike for their dedication to their craft. Both were married, and at least one was known to have children. Their lives seemed ordinary on the surface. Work, family, and evenings spent discussing circuits, radio frequencies, and the future of technology. Yet, beneath this facade lay a shared curiosity that reached far beyond resistors and soldering irons. The two friends were known to gather with like-minded companions, sometimes including Helcio Correa, another technician and close confidant. These meetings would begin as technical discussions, but often drifted into conversations about life after death, spiritualism, and the nature of the soul. The father of one of the men was a committed Kardecist, a follower of Allan Kardec's spiritist philosophy, which suggested that the dead could communicate with the living and that the material world was merely a thin veil over greater mysteries. On August 17, 1966, Manoel and Miguel informed their families they were embarking on a business trip to São Paulo. Their stated reason was to purchase electronic components and possibly a Volkswagen Beetle. They carried with them a large sum of money. Reports vary, but it was enough to raise eyebrows, the equivalent of a few $1,000s in modern terms. Curiously, they packed no luggage, leaving behind even basic necessities for an extended trip. Their families accepted their explanation, perhaps accustomed to the men's impulsive nature and passion for their work. But the two men never made their way to São Paulo. Instead, they traveled to Niterói, a city on the opposite side of Guanabara Bay from Rio de Janeiro, and eventually to the hillside known as Morro do Vintém. Along the way, they stopped at the shop of an acquaintance, Hernani de Carvalho Filho, purchasing 2 raincoats. At another store, they bought a bottle of mineral water, telling the shopkeeper they would return the bottle later. These small details would later take on an eerie significance. Witnesses reported seeing Miguel and Manoel accompanied by a fair-haired man driving in a jeep as they ascended the hill. When the vehicle stopped, the blond man was seen descending alone, leaving the two friends to continue on foot up the slope. This mysterious companion was never identified, and his role, if any, in what followed has never been explained. 3 days later, on August 20th, a young man named Jorge, out to fly a kite, stumbled upon a disturbing sight. Lying side by side on the grass were the bodies of Manoel and Miguel. They were dressed in formal suits, covered by the raincoats they had purchased, and most strikingly, each wore a crude mask made of lead over their eyes, shaped to shield the face but offering no ventilation or comfort. Adding to the mystery, investigators discovered a cryptic note among the men's belongings. The message referenced specific times to ingest capsules and instructions to purchase a tube of wire, though its meaning was unclear. Manoel's father later revealed that days before their disappearance, Miguel, Manoel, and another friend named Helcio had been conducting experiments with explosive materials. This revelation deepened suspicions, suggesting the men may have been involved in secretive scientific or spiritual experiments, further complicating the baffling case. Miguel's family sensed that something was amiss. His ex-wife recalled overhearing friends talk about a planet with 1,000 suns, a cryptic phrase that hinted at cosmic mysteries. Miguel's father often engaged him in deep conversations, and on one occasion, Miguel confided his belief in life beyond Earth and the possibility of interplanetary travel. These exchanges painted a portrait of a man captivated by the unknown, fueling theories that the tragedy was linked to otherworldly pursuits. At the time, forensic technology was not advanced enough to determine the contents of the capsules the men had reportedly ingested, especially given the advanced state of decomposition in which their bodies were found. Critical questions lingered, such as whether the internal organs had decayed simply due to the time elapsed since death, or if further deterioration occurred during their stay at the morgue without proper examination. The lack of answers only deepened the mystery surrounding their final moments. Gracinda Barbosa Coutinho de Souza was driving through the Fonseca neighborhood in Niterói with her 3 children when she witnessed something extraordinary. Hovering over Morro do Vintém, she saw a multicolored ovoid object emitting a bright orange light surrounded by a ring of fire with blue rays. Her children, equally fascinated, later described the phenomenon in detail, fueling speculation about a possible UFO encounter linked to the mysterious deaths that occurred that night. After all, the incident happened at the moment when the friends were supposedly arriving at the hill. Many questions about this case continue to puzzle investigators and enthusiasts alike. Some believe the men were attempting to intercept radio signals or communicate with otherworldly beings, possibly protecting themselves with lead masks from unknown forms of radiation. Others suggest they were engaged in esoteric rituals, seeking spiritual enlightenment or contact with higher powers. The true purpose behind their journey, the meaning of the cryptic notes, and the reason for the lead masks remain unsolved mysteries to this day. Speculation around the mysterious deaths of Manoel and Miguel has only grown over the years. Some claim that grass never grew again at the spot where their bodies were found, fueling suspicions of radioactive contamination, perhaps even suggesting radiation as the cause of death. Eyewitnesses reported seeing unknown men in a jeep with the pair, prompting questions about their identities and intentions. Allegations also surfaced of missing documents, altered medical reports, and delays possibly linked to powerful authorities. Another theory suggests the men, known UFO enthusiasts, may have been lured to their deaths by a scam. They could have been tricked into ingesting capsules under false pretenses, and the raincoats, perhaps intended for protection, offered no defense. The true motives and events behind their deaths remain shrouded in uncertainty. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, consider joining the Curious Order for more deep dives into the mysteries that shape our world. From unexplained phenomena to the boundaries of human understanding, each tale reminds us that what seems like fiction today may become tomorrow's reality. Stay curious, keep questioning, and journey with us as we explore the strange, the unknown, and the stories that continue to captivate minds across generations.